Hello, let's start executing the tasks. So we're supposed to create a class car that has fields, brand and year. Let's go and create it. So first we create class. So the name of the class is car. Okay. Class car accepts it has two fields. So integer year and string brand. Then we should implement the constructor that takes a brand and year. So constructor consists, so we can write public. We remember that the name of the constructor matches with the name of the class. So car constructor is a method that does not return any value. It just it has parameters like integer year and string brand. So when we create an object we can assign the values to the fields immediately. So that's why we use the constructors. So we can use the keyword this to differentiate between the parameters and fields. So this year is equal to year, and this dot brand is equal to brand. Okay. Also, we need to implement getters and setters for both fields. So getters are the methods that are used to obtain the values of the fields. So getters, define the return type int, then the name of the method. So get year. We use the camel case style, we remember that for all the methods. Then parentheses. We do not specify the parameters because it does not accept any arguments. It will just return the year. Now again the same principle for brand. So the brand is not integer, so we write string. String starts with a capital letter since it's not a primitive data type. It's a class, it's a different class string. So string get brand parentheses, and in parentheses we specify we want to, in parameters we want to pass some values, so we write parameters string brand, and within the curly braces we can write, oh sorry, this is, we don't need string here, this is for setters. String get brand, we return the brand, so brand. for setters, we can use, we know that setters are the methods that are used to change the values. They allow us to change the values of the fields. And the setters, they do not return any values, so we use void keyword here. Void and the name of the setter, the name of the method, set year. In parentheses we pass, it accepts some parameters, so integer year, it accepts some values, new values, and changes the existing fields. So we use this keyword again, this year to year. And the same principle with the brand. So set brand, in parameters we pass string brand. It accepts arguments. The new value is passed from the main method, then the method accepts it here and changes the existing value to the new value. So this brand is equal to brand. Okay. Now print method that outputs the information about the machine. We want to create another method, so again the return type of this method will be a void, since it will just print a message and it will not return any value. So void print the name of the method, and within parentheses we do not pass anything since it doesn't accept any values. It will just print out the information about the car. So brand, say brand plus brand, then year plus year. Okay. Now in the main method we want to create an object of the class, an object of the car class, set the values and change the year of the setter and display the information. So okay. Now the main method is a entry point in the Java program, so whenever we run our programs in Java, the execution of the code starts from the main method. So here now we can create an object of the class car. So we remember that we start from the name of the class, so car, then the name of the object that we want to create. So let's say car1 is equal to, we use the keyword new here to call a constructor, new, and then constructor. We remember that constructor matches with the name of the class, so car, and in parentheses we pass the initial values that we want to initialize, that we want to assign to the fields here. So year and brand, we will give, let's say, for the year 2020, and brand, let's say Mercedes. Okay, and semicolon. So now we created an object of the class car. with the name car1. Now and we want to change the year of the class, so we want to change the year of the object. Let's first call the print method. So let's print out. To print, we can use this syntax. So name of the object car1 dot, then the name of the method. So we want to print this, print semicolon. So this method will print out the information about the car. Now let's use the setter to change the year of the car. To do that, we need to start from the name of the object car1 dot set year, and in parentheses we pass the new value. So let's say 2021. Okay, and we want to print out this information, so print. Okay, now let's go and run this. We can see here brand Mercedes, year 2020, then here we change the year, they become 2021, so correct. Now the next task is write a rectangle class. Okay, let's go and create a new class. New class rectangle. Rectangle has fields width and height. So integer width and integer height. So fields are the variables that are defined within a class. They store the data about the object, and again we create a constructor. So a constructor is a method that is called when creating an object. So it does not have a return type, and if in this case we do not specify the constructor, the Java will automatically create one by default that initializes the values of the fields to default values. So in our case, the width and height will be assigned with values 0, since integer is a primitive data type with the default value 0. But let's create our own constructor here. So public, the name of the constructor matches with the name of the class, rectangle, and within in parentheses we pass the parameters, so integer width, comma, integer height, then within the curly braces we can use this keyword to differentiate between the parameters and fields. So this width is equal to width, and this height is equal to height. Okay, now getters, we want to make getters and setters for height. Okay, so getters for width, we specify first the return type of the method and the name of the getter using camel case. So get width in parentheses, empty parentheses, since it doesn't accept any arguments. Then return width. And we can write using the same style for height, getter for height, get height, return height. Now setter. We know that setters, they do not return any values, so we can write void void set width. It accepts integer value, so integer, let's say new width, and new, not new, sorry, width is equal to new width. In this case, it's not necessary to use the keyword this, since we can clearly see the difference between the field and the parameter. So we could also use this, but it's not necessary. The program will work fine without the keyword this in this case. And setter for height, integer new height within the curly braces, height is equal to new height, semicolon. Okay, now calculate area method, which returns the area of the rectangle. Okay, so the method calculate area will return, we can use the keyword public here so that it will be accessible. The return type is integer, int calculate area, to calculate the area we need a parameter, so let's say side, let's say x, and as far as I remember, the formula for calculating the area is x squared, correct? It's length times width, so it's height times width. We can write return height times width. Now in the main method we'll create a rectangle, change its width and print its area. Let's write the print method here as well. Void print system out rectangle. Calculate area. Okay. Now let's go and create the main method. Now let's create an object of class rectangle obj is equal to new keyword is used to call the constructor new, and the name of the constructor matches with the name of the class, new rectangle, and we pass here the arguments as width and height, so let's say 4 and 6. No, it will not be a rectangle. Let's say 7, 8 and 5, semicolon. And here we created an object of class rectangle, so we know that object is an instance of a class created in the memory that stores data about the object. That stores data about the object, yes. Here. So we created a rectangle. Now we want to change the width via setter. So to call the setter from the main method, we can use the name of the object, so obj dot set, call method set what width, set width. Set width, and here let's say the width will be 10. Alright, now we want to print the area. So print obj dot print. Now let's go and run this. Now we can see the area of the rectangle is 50, so 5 times 10 is 50. We can see that the width was changed in the second line, and then the area was calculated and printed using the method print. Now book class, let's go and create a new class. New class book. Okay. It will accept, it will have 2 fields, title and author. Okay, string author and string title. Now we will create a constructor. So the name of the constructor matches with the name of the class. Book, and then string author as parameters, author and title, and curly braces. So curly braces, they mark the beginning and end of the code block. So within this curly braces. This is the scope of this method of the constructor. So here we can use again this keyword to differentiate between parameters and the fields. So this author is equal to author, semicolon, and this title is equal to title. Okay. Now we want to implement getters and setters for both fields. So we remember the structure of the getters. The getters, they return integers, so the return type is int. In this case we want to return string, so the return type will be string get author, camel case, nothing in parentheses, and return author. Then string, the same technique for title, get title, empty parentheses, curly braces, return title. Now setters. We remember that setters, they do not return any value, so we use the return type void, then name of the method setter using camel case, so set author, so it accepts the arguments. We can specify the parameters, the new value string new author, curly braces, and then author is equal to new author. Now if we're about to change the author of the object, we can refer to this method, which is called setter. It will change the value of the fields, the value of the field author to a new author. Now the same principle with the title, so set title, and parameters string new title, and curly braces, title is equal to new title. Okay. Now we want to create a method print info that outputs the data about the book. So okay, this method will not return any value, so we can use void. It will just print, so void print info, camel case, parentheses, no arguments are passed, so it's empty. Within the curly braces we write system out print line, title and author. So title of the book, title, let's say plus, here we'll use title, and plus comma author, author. Now we can go and run this. Okay, let's create an object of the class book. So we know the syntax book. Book is here a non-primitive data type, so the syntax for creating an object is the same as creating a new variable. So here the name of the object, book, let's say book, is equal to new keyword new. The keyword new means that we are about to call the constructor and create an object. So the constructor matches with the name of the class, so book, and it accepts arguments. We can see author and title. So author is gonna be J.K. Rowling. And title Harry Potter. And semicolon. Now we want to change the author from setter and print information. Okay, let's say here, let's say Pushkin, and change the author. So to change the author, we use the name of the object, so book dot, and then set author method, and pass the new value here. So the author of Harry Potter is J.K. Rowling. J.K. Rowling. Okay. Now we can print book.print info. Let's go and run this. So we can see title Harry Potter and author J.K. Rowling. Good. Now the next task. Let's create a new class. New class. The name of the class is bank account. Bank account. Again, we can see the camel case here. Bank account. Has fields owner and balance. So let's go and create it. String owner and integer double balance. Double balance. And double is a primitive data type, so we write it. We don't capitalize the first letter. Now we want to create the constructor that takes owner and balance. So let's go and create that. We can see the curly braces, they indicate the borders of this class. So everything we write will be within this these curly braces. So let's create a constructor. Constructor matches with the name of the class, and we can specify parameters here. So string owner and double balance curly braces, and then this keyword is used to differentiate between the parameters and the fields. So this owner is owner. We assign the value that we obtained with constructor to the field, and this balance is equal to balance. Okay. Now we want to create getter and setter. Setter for changing owner and getter for retrieving data. So we remember the syntax of getters starts with the return type. So int, and then get owner, parentheses we don't pass any value, and it returns the information about the owner, so owner. Return owner. So we can see the mistake here, so owner is not an integer. Thanks to a static typing, Java does not allow us to use int return type here because it conflicts with the owner, with a variable, the field owner that is string. So we can see it here. I need to change it to string. Okay, now string get balance. So again, we can see that balance is not a string, it's a double. Return type will be double. Get balance. In parentheses, we don't pass any, we don't write any parameters since it does not accept arguments, and it will return the balance. Alright. Now setter for changing the owner. Setters, we use the return type void since it does not return any value. It will just change the data about the owner. So set owner, again camel case. Then the new value will be string new owner within the curly braces, then owner is equal to new owner. Okay, now method deposit. Okay, the return type of this method will be double, so double deposit. Actually, we can make it void because we just changed the value. And in parameters we pass the amount. We want to accept some values here. So within the curly braces. So we want to increase the balance by this amount, so we have a balance here. So balance is plus equal to amount. So this method, whenever we call this method, will increase our balance by the amount that we passed to this method. And it will not return any value, but it will store the information in the memory. Then method withdraw. Also, we can specify the void return type since it will not return any value. So withdraw double amount. We pass some values here in the parameters, and then the amount will be withdrawn from the balance amount. These shortcut operators, this is the same as equal to balance minus amount, but it's a short version of that, so we can write it like this. Now we want to create a method print balance. Again, void print balance. case, we'll display the current information about balance. So system out. Your balance. Okay, now we're done with the methods. We can go and create the main function. So in the main function, let's create an object of the class bank account. So bank account, then the name of the object. So what is the name of the object? Let's say John is equal to new, and the name of the constructor. Then who will be the owner? The owner is John, and the balance. Let's say let me change here a little bit. You can put a $sign here. Let's say John has 50k. Now let's print. Remember, to print we should use the object dot method print balance. Now we're asked to create a bank account. We did. Now we want to make a deposit. So let's first make this 0. Then we'll print the information about John. Then we'll make a deposit here. So let's say John put money on his bank account. John dot deposit. Let's say 10k. Okay. Then let's say, and also let's print this using the method print balance that we specified earlier. Now let's say John withdraw the money, withdraw much, 2000, and again print the balance. John don't print balance. Okay, let's go and run this. So we can see here, first John had no money in the account, so 0. Also, we could so yes, it's correct. So we have balance here 0. Then we had a deposit here by 10,000. So 10,000 is correct. And then we withdraw 2,000 from the account, and you can see the result here. The balance is 8,000. So correct. Now next class, point class. Let's go and create a new class here. New class point. It has fields x and y, x coordinates and y coordinates, so integer x, integer y, and we'll create a constructor we remember that constructor is a method that is used to this method that is called when creating an object, and it assigns the values to the fields immediately. So that's why we need a constructor. The name of the constructor matches with the name of the class, so point, and we can write the parameters here: integer x, integer y. So this x is equal to x, and this y is equal to y. Okay, correct. Getters to obtain the coordinates. Okay, so we want to return integer, get x, empty parentheses, within curly braces return x, and the same for y, get y, and return y. Setter to change the value of x. So we remember that setters they did not return any values, so we can put the void return type. So set x, we want to change the value of x, set x, the new value will be accepted here, so integer x, and this x will be changed to new x. Print method. The print method will not return any value, so it's void print. Print doesn't have any parameters. Return the coordinates. So x is equal to x can use a shortcut Ctrl D here, and y is equal to y. Okay. Now in the main method, let's create a main method. In the main method, we want to change the x coordinate and print the new coordinates. So first let's create an object of class point. So point, let's say obj, object, new point, and the coordinates, let's say 3 and 5. Then let's change the coordinates of x, since we're asked here to change the x coordinates. Obj dot set x, let's set it to 10, and print obj dot print. Now let's go and run. We can see the result here: x is equal to 10, y is equal to 5. So x was 3 in the beginning, then we changed the value of x to 10 by using the method setter, and then we printed the data about the object using the method print that we specified here. Okay. Alright. Okay, now let's create the class student group. So first we create a class student group, and then we're asked to write the fields group name and student count, group name and student count. So let's go and do that. Group name is a string, group name, and student count is integer, student count. Now we will create a constructor. So we know that the name of the constructor should match with the name of the class. So student group. Then we can pass in the parameters, string group name and integer student count. So here we use the braces. These braces mark the beginning and end of the code block. Constructors are used. These are the methods that are used when creating an object. Now we can use the keyword this to differentiate between the parameters and fields. And this student count. This student count is equal to student count. Now we're asked to implement getters and setters, then print info. Okay, so getters, these are the methods. The return type for student count, get student count will be integer. Getter, in parentheses, we will not pass anything since it does not accept any value. It will just return student count, number of students in the group. Here and here we will implement getter for group name. So get group name, again empty parentheses, and return group name. For setters, we do not return the methods. They do not return any values. So we can write the keyword void, which means that the method will not return anything. It will just change the values of the fields. So void set group name. For group name, it will accept the new value. Parameters, we specify string, group name, and then we say this dot group name is equal to group name. Now setter for student count, so set student count, it accepts new value as integer, so we write parameters integer student count and curly braces. Within curly braces we change the value of the field. This dot student count is equal to student count, semicolon. Alright, now we can write a method print info system out, students. So this method will print out the information about the object. So it will print out group name and print how many students are there in the group. Now we can write the main function, main method. In main method we'll create an object of class student group. Let's say group is equal to new student group, so the name of the constructor should match with the name of the class. Now we pass in parameters, group name QA and student count 35. Now let's use print here, method print we can use by typing the name of the object and dot name of the method, so print info. Now let's change the value of the number of students, so we can use again name of the object dot setter, so set student count and pass in the new value in arguments, let's say 40, and again print, so group dot print info. Now let's go and run this. Here we can see the result is correct. Yes. Now let's create another class circle. Circle. And circle has width. Circle has radius. Sorry, double with the data type double. So double radius. Semicolon. Now we can write a constructor. Constructor with the name circle that accepts radius and double. Radius, curly braces, and this dot radius is equal to radius. No. Of course we will create getters for getting the radius and setter for setting the radius. Let's go and do that. Since the data type of radius is double, then the return value of getter will be double. Double get radius, no parameters, return radius. So the keyword return here is used to return the radius from the class, the value of the field radius, and after the method is executed it will terminate and return the radius. Now let's write a setter. So setters, they do not return any value usually, so set radius, they accept. So in parameters we can write double radius for new value and change this dot radius to radius. Okay. Now we're asked to implement method calculate area and calculate circumference. So let's go and do that. Calculate area method will return the area. So the data type is double, calculate area. It does not accept any parameters, and the formula for area is pi r squared. So we can use math library here, return math class math pi times radius and times radius pi r squared. Correct. Now calculate circumference. Method returns the circumference with the formula 2 times pi r. 2 pi r. So again it's double. The return type is double. The name of our method is calculate circumference. No parameters. And it returns 2 pi r. So 2 times math pi times radius. Okay. Now in the main method we'll create a circle and change the radius from center and print the area and circumference. Okay, let's create a main function here. Main function, class circle, object circle, new keyword to call constructor circle, pass the radius 5. Now let's change the radius. Circle dot set radius to 7. Now let's print out our result. So system out circumference, so area let's call circle dot calculate area plus and here circumference here we call the method circumference. Calculate circumference. Alright, let's go and run. So we can see the result here. Okay. Now let's implement teacher class. Let's go create a new class here in our package practice 2. So teacher has fields name and subject. So string name and string subject. Now let's create a constructor. Teacher. In parameters we specify the name and subject. Here, so this dot name is equal to this subject. Again, I remind you that we use keyword this to differentiate between the parameters and fields, so that the compiler would understand that we're referring to the field, you know, by writing the keyword this dot subject. We refer to the subject, to the field. Okay, now we wrote the constructor. We're asked to implement getters and setters, print info, method print info, and then in the main method change the subject. Okay, so we remember how the getters they return some values. So in this case it will be string get name, no parameters, and return name. Now string get subject to return the subject. Okay, these are our getters. Now let's create a setter. So they do not return any values, so we can write the keyword void set name. So this, we forgot to specify parameters, so it will accept the new value string name, and here we can change it. So this name field of the class is equal to name, new value. Now again, set subject, in parameters string subject, this subject is equal to subject. Now method for printing, print info, no parameters. We just print the message here, the data that is stored in the class. So name of the teacher, and class name of the teacher and subject. So name plus name, and here subject plus subject. All right. Now we need to create a main method. So main now we create an object of class teacher. So teacher, let's say teacher, object name teacher, new teacher. And for the name, let's say Alex Shen. And for the subject, QA. Now let's change the subject. So name of the object teacher dot set subject, and the new value will be AQA. Now we can go and print this. So teacher dot print info. Yes, we changed the subject via setter, and then we can print the information. Let's go and run. Name Alex Pche and subject AQA. Correct. No. Let's let's create class product. New Java class product. It has fields name and price. So string name and double price. Let's create constructor. Public, the name of the constructor matches with the name of the class. And here string name, double price. And this dot name is equal to name. This dot price, not prints, price is equal to price. So we set the values. When we initialize the object, we can set them immediately using the constructor here. Now getters and setters for changing the price. So let's start from setter. Our setter will not return any value, so void set price. Here's double, data type is double, price. So this price is equal to price. And to get the name, we should return name, so string data type, get name, name of the method, empty parameters, and return name. And same with the price, so double get price, and return price. Now we have an interesting method here, apply discount. So apply discount method will accept, it will have a parameter discount. So let's go and create this. So the return type, let's say void apply discount, in parentheses, double discount. Let's create a new variable here, double new price. And double new price will be equal to price minus discount divided by 100. Sorry, it's times price, so to get the percentage. Now, and the price, and let's say this is discount price. For clarity, discount price So price minus equal to discount price. Okay. Now method print info to print the data. We can call method print info. So we print out a product, and the price. In the main method, we're asked to change the price via setter and apply discount. So let's go create the main method and create the object of class product. Let's say bread, new product. The name is gonna be bread. So bread, and the price, let's say 100. Okay, now let's change the price to setter. So bread dot set price. Let's drop it to 60, 64, and apply discount. So bread dot apply discount. Let's say 15%. Okay, now let's print. So name of the object bread dot print info. Let's go and run this. And we can see the new price here. After 15% discount, the price dropped to 54.4. It was 64. So works. Everything works fine. Okay. Now the last class, laptop. Let's go and create new class. So new class, laptop. Laptop has fields, brand and price. So string brand and double price. Let's create a constructor. Public laptop. Parameters string brand and double price. So this brand is equal to brand and this price is equal to price. So this is our constructor. Now let's create our getter to get the name, to get the brand. We can create this method get brand that returns the string, and returns string data type. So get brand, nothing in parameters, return brand. Now let's create a getter for price. So get price, curly braces, return price. Now let's create a setter. Nothing will be returned, so the return type is void. Set price. Here in parameters, it's double price, double data type, and name price, new value. And this price will be changed to the price that we passed through the parameters. And the same here with the name, with the brand, so set brand. The data type is string, brand. This brand is equal to brand. Cool. Let's write the print method. Void print info. No parameters. It prints out the name. So laptop, name of the laptop, brand, and the price, of course. Okay, now we can create the main method, change the price, setter, and display the updated information. Okay, so here you can see the main method. Why public static void main? Public keyword is here used so that the main method would be visible to Java Virtual Machine. Static keyword allows Java Virtual Machine to execute the main method without creating an object, so we can execute the main method directly. Void here means that this method will not return any value, and the main is main keyword, so the name of the method. Let's create an object of class laptop. So laptop equal to new laptop name. So Acer, and the price, say 1,000. Now let's update the price. So name of the object dot set price, and let's say 700. Now let's go and print this. Laptop dot print info, and let's run. Okay, everything works fine here. Laptop Acer, price 700. So we changed the price. It was 1,000 initially when we used the constructor to assign the values. Then we changed it through the method set price to 700 and used print info method to print out the information about our laptop. Okay, thank you for watching.